Hey folks, BlackCross here, and welcome to the PlayStation wrap-up video for 2021. So, last year I did a wrap-up video for 2020, and we're obviously going to do it again for 2021. So, for anyone that wants access to this, in case any of you do, technically Sony is kind of experiencing some technical issues and stuff of that nature. I certainly experienced it myself, but it's slowly resolving itself, so you have at least until February 20th in order to get caught up with your end. There are, of course, criteria, being that you have to have at least played upwards to 10 hours of gameplay throughout the entire year, at least 10, and, well, I know for a fact that I definitely played more than 10 hours. I will, of course, reference from last year's event thing, so if you want to see how last year I did, go ahead and watch that video, and then come back to this one if you want to, or if you just want to watch this and then see how well I did, then go ahead. So anyway, though, let's go ahead and talk about my 2021 wrap-up summaries. So to start things right off, let's go ahead and talk about the number of hours that I've technically put into with the PlayStation, or specifically the PlayStation 4 per se, because, well, I know a lot of people probably be like, well, don't you have a PlayStation 5? And the answer to that answer is no, I still have not. But with that being said, though, the amount of hours that I've played on the PlayStation 4, actually, if I want to be technical, it practically surpassed the number of hours that I put into from last year's. Last year, I did 867 hours. In this case, however, though, I did 1,064 hours of gameplay time. That is pretty significantly impressive. I'm not going to lie, I did not think I was going to surpass that number, but I did, and wow, I really did. Of course, it obviously will go through the breakdown of what all I've played the most of. And of course, that being said, you know, you could probably guess, I've mostly played just by myself. I've never really went into co-op, and I certainly don't have any interest in VR, so that explains the number on that. As for total days played, I'm kind of surprised that's under 300 days. Then again, some cases, you know, I'm not always able to play the system. Sometimes I'm off doing stuff, and then sometimes I'm playing the PlayStation 2. Depends on what's going on and stuff like that, you know? Number of games played? Unfortunately, I didn't do better than last year's, but by not that bad a number. Last year I did 34, in this year's case I did 33. So, while one game short, it wasn't that awful bad. If nothing else, I sort of kind of evened myself out as to how many games that I've played on the PlayStation 4 as of this year. So, not bad actually when you think about it. Now, last year, it ranked what games you played the most of. And if you remember, last year I had Kingdom Hearts 3 being the most hours I put into in terms of gameplay. Keep in mind, during that time, I was completing Kingdom Hearts 3. And then, of course, the other two games were Kingdom 2 Crowns and Kingdom New Lands, which, if you're familiar with those games, they take a long time just to get started and stuff like that. In this case, though, however, though, I was very much invested with a lot of different games. In this case, the first ranked one was Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. No surprise there, considering the fact that I did platinum that one. And for anyone who has played Shin Megami Tensei 3 before, would know that that takes a lot of hours just to accomplish that. Never mind the multiple replay throughs you have to go through in order to unlock the different endings and stuff, so that's no shocking there. Then, of course, after that, you have Hades. Not surprising either, considering that is basically a roguelike game. One of the very few roguelike games that I've actually enjoyed, much less loved, much less highly recommended. By the way, if you want to find out what I thought about it, a review of it is already out there for you guys. We also have Dragon Quest XI-S, Echoes of an Elusive Age. I thought that was exclusive, but it's Elusive Age, I found out. Surprisingly under 100 hours, but it's still third ranked. After that one, we have Nier Replicant. Play through that one. Really enjoyed it myself with that. And then surprisingly, the fifth ranked one, then again, depending on the game, it's not surprising. It is God Eater Resurrection. Because of how that game is, it does take a long time to remotely beat it, so I guess that makes sense, but I'm just surprised that it's rivaled that to Near Replicant. I'm kind of surprised. But, hey, to have Shin Megami Tensei 3 as my top most played game, that is not a surprise, and in all honesty, I'm glad that that's on there, because I did play a lot of hours on that game. Now, let's talk about the number of trophies that I've attained. I did better this year than I did the previous year. So, the amount of trophies that I've earned last year was 539 trophies. This year, however, I did 682 trophies. And in terms of how last year was versus this year, how did I do? Well, I would have to say I did surprisingly really, really well. In fact, in terms of overall games that I've gotten out of trophies-wise and stuff like that, bronze trophies last year was 364, with 503 this year. Silver trophies, kind of weird that there wasn't that many silver trophies that I've gotten this year compared to last year. Last year was 134, this year is 111. Gold trophies, did more gold trophies. I don't know how, but I got more gold trophies this year than I did last year. 37 last year, and this year 57. And the biggest number I wanted to see, platinum trophies. I have platinumed 11 this year compared to the 4 that I platinumed last year. So I did way better in terms of platinuming games. My friend, one of my best friends, whenever he saw my PlayStation Network account, he was like, dude, and I'm like, what? He's like, how do you have that number? And I'm like, dude, you know me, I love to complete my games. I'm like, yeah, but still, dude, that's stupidly insane, and I can understand why, especially depending on the games that I have platinum. I mean, heck, I platinum Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD, I platinum Hades, I platinum Near Replicant. Once you look at the lineup of games that I have platinum just this year alone, it is insanely weird as to how I was able to get 11 platinum trophies, most of which take a long time to complete anyway. So it's one of those things where I'm like, when you put it in that perspective, yeah, I can understand why. But still, to see that number, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. So long as I got like at least a number that I feel confident of, which is that of 10, I would have been fine. But to have 11, that was like, whew. I don't think I'm going to do better this year in terms of platinum than I did this year, but I will try my best. I do want to try platinum more games. There are plenty of games that I still need to platinum, and there's still a lot of them that needs to be done. So overall, I'm fairly happy with what I've done in regards to this year being the number of things that I've done for PlayStation-wise and stuff of that nature. I'm very happy with today's results. How will next year fare? I have a few things that I want to kind of predict of what I'm wanting to see. Number one being the fact that, obviously with this year being the 20th anniversary, the number of hours are going to be mostly accumulative towards this game alone. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5. That would probably be the one that has the most hours, I will say. Because number one, there are games that still need to be completed within that anyway. And number two, obviously I'm going to be replaying it, of course. Number of trophies. I would be surprised if I did more than 600 again. I would be very surprised. I would be surprised if I gotten like at least 500 trophies this year. But in terms of platinum trophies, I do want to at least try to get 10 again. As for like the number of games that I will be playing for the system, I don't see that achieving past 30. I feel like after 30, that's a pretty good average number of games to be playing on the PlayStation 4. To me anyway, I feel like. You know, keep in mind, I'm not like everybody else where I play like 100 different games in one go. I like to take my time and play through one game, enjoy it for what it is and stuff like that. If I like it, I'll still play it. If I really like it, I'll complete it. And if I don't like it, I'll just drop it altogether. But you know what? That's a pretty good average thing when you think about it. So personally, I'm looking forward to how 2022 is going to fare up. And especially considering the fact that 2022 is looking to be a really good year right off the bat. Keep in mind, we have Horizon Forbidden West that's coming out shortly. We have Elden Ring. Sifu's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. And then, of course, we have Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger of Paradise. And that's just coming up within the next 2 months right now. We don't even know what's going to happen after April and from then on out. But one thing's for certain, once we get to that point, it could go either way. It can go either slower to where I can finally get caught up with some of the games that I have in my backlog, or it can just steamroll over us and we're like, damn, my wallet has just been emptied out. So, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. Catch you guys later.